touch on it a little bit here, just like for people, generally, just to like for what
I was told to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Cool.
Did anyone tell you anything?
Well, nope.
nobody said nothing to nobody.
GM, welcome everyone.
Welcome, GM.
On that note, we will give more information on what we're being cryptic about at a future date when we have more information. But
Yeah.
And TLDR, something happened to a friend in the industry, and they're at the moment the people involved like to keep it under wraps. So, out of respect for them, we're not going to say anything about it yet. But
What's on the agenda today? What do we got?
Before we went live, we were talking about I want to call them MicroStrategy again because they got no money right now.
Well, now they got another 21
now they got
billion.
money. Sorry, they got money again. They ran out of money. They raised another 20 what?
21, I think.
21. They got it for the meme.
Yeah. So I mean, they do a stock offering. They do a convertible bond. So this, I think, where
when does this run out? When does the Ponzi stop?
Like years. Like some of the notes are like 10 years away, or like 5 years away. Like years. He has like a cycle and a half of runway.
Nice. But we still got time.
Yeah, but I guess for the people that don't know how it works, is they do a note, they do a convertible bond, which is good for certain kinds of institutional investors. So some places can't just go out and buy Bitcoin, but they can be in the convertible bond space, more institutional space, and pick up these offerings. So it's their way of accessing crypto without buying Bitcoin itself. So he can't be liquidated. The Ponzi, quote Ponzi, only really runs out if nobody gives them any more money. But there's always some shop that will restructure some debt in some new way and do some new offering that some bottom of the barrel shop will pick up and run with it. So there's no like, if it goes to 50K, he gets liquidated. It's just if Bitcoin goes to 30K, people aren't going to be throwing money at him as they are now. So they ran out of money. Not ran out of, that's a wrong word. The offering was 21 billion. They spent it all. And now they just did another 21 billion. And last week they used the last 100+ million, and now they'll continue to be a buyer. Like always, buying the top.
He won't get liquidated on his Bitcoin, but I mean, like the company itself could go under.
Yeah, if you can't repay the debt, or if nobody will restructure it for you, then get fucked. But there's always somebody to restructure it in some way, shape, or form, right? Like I wouldn't put it against them that it's just going to go under. But what was interesting was, I didn't read up on the earnings. I just saw the headlines, is that they're up billions on their Bitcoin, but the actual company itself was like struggling. So that's also the other thing. If the regular company doesn't keep performing as, it wasn't a great company anyways, but their legacy software business, if it doesn't generate enough cash to pay the bills and pay the debt, then you could be in some forced sale situation down the line, but not anytime soon.
So essentially, he is
riding it up. He has like 2025, 2029, 2030. He has like fucking 5 years on. He has a cycle and a half on some of these notes.
Nice. So we got a cycle and a half left. That's good.
Cycle and a half left before Sailor's business goes under. He eventually has to sell all his corn in 10 years. We have 10 years before he sends corn to.
Yeah, but even if Bitcoin in a few years is still 100K, he's still.
I'm totally just kidding right now. Like I
know, but he's still up billions. Like he's one of the greatest traders, and people were falling for it.
Quite possibly the greatest trader of our generation. And our parents' generation.
He's not just a trader. He's like an evangelist.
Selling shares. He got me into the furniture biz. I'll tell you that much. If it wasn't for him, I would have never been looking. I'd have so many chairs right now that I'm sitting in my office. I mean,
Yeah,
remember
but
how
their
many
average
chairs?
is like
I used to have a few
66K.
chairs, Marty. I was a man of many chairs in the past. Now I'm a man of one chair. So I've learned a lot from him and McAfee. I will say I've
Dude, they have 300,000 Bitcoin. So fucking crazy. So it's over 2%.
yeah, they have an insane amount
Jesus
of Bitcoin.
Christ.
Yeah.
That's the strategy.
It's a good coin to own 2% of.
I think so.
Yeah. I own 2% of other coins and they're not as good.
They're not as good as those ones.
I usually aim for 1%. Like, 1% is a good number to have. 2%?
Yeah. 2% is when the market cap is so low, it just happens to be 2% when you buy it for like 1 ETH or 1 SOL.
No, for Sailor, he's taking third world countries' yearly GDP and shoving it into corn once a quarter.
Yeah.
But some people are following suit. So I guess that was the other thing. It's not just him now. There are some smaller guys doing the same sort of large strategy. Yeah, doing the same sort of strategy.
The greatest trader of all time. Best market. I mean, is he just the greatest of all time?
I think he should have started earlier,
Greatest marketer, greatest investor.
Well, we
greatest
say that
philanthropist.
because Bitcoin's at 93K. His average is 66, which is above the Trump win date, which was 63, I think. So, it was getting a little rough there at 74K. Like his tweets started going away. Their Bitcoin yield that they were keep claiming, wasn't positive on the year. Now it's, prices break even on the year. So he looks great, but at 73, 74K, it wasn't looking that hot for his, multi-year plan that he had been doing.
Better than
he only
the old
tweets
days.
when it's going up. If you look at it, like he only like shills when he's looks like a genius. Of course, right?
The best time to shill is when you're a genius.
Yeah.
I mean, they say be bullish at a price you could at least break even at, and he has a right to be bullish right now. GM Chad. Nihilo, what up?
U.S. rejects Japan's request for full exemption from tariffs, but may consider lowering the 14% Japan-specific tariff. Wah, wah, wah.
Can
No
I get
deal's been
a full
made.
extension from taxes as well?
Well, what's up with this? I thought they were gonna make U.S. income tax under 100K was like exempt. That would change the whole fucking economy.
I've heard a few things. I've heard a few things now. So I don't know what is real and what's not a psyop. Plus, I've got friends who are making up fucking, news headlines that are then getting picked up by people who are like Republican, right reporters, and saying it as fact. So I don't even know what's real when it comes to like potential future tax law. Like my one buddy made a bunch of memes saying that like no tax on crypto, no capital gains tax. And then
fucking Fox picked it up or something.
Yeah. And then Fox and like a bunch of other people like picked that up and started saying like Trump may remove capital gains tax from U.S. crypto if you're a crypto project building in the U.S., no tax. Like so many
ladies in control.
So many just kind of like off the wall headlines that were literally just like made up by friends of mine on Twitter.
I think like the CNN fake news era and also COVID like broke people's brains, and now they just believe like literally anything that they just agree with. Like they don't even care. Like there's no standard for like truth. There's no like scrutiny to anything if you agree with it.
I understand how malleable reality is. So if you meme something enough, it could come true.
Yeah.
So this is a prime example of this, right? Like
Yeah.
we just keep memeing about no capital gains tax on crypto.
Yeah.
And eventually, like Trump's gonna be like, "Yeah, that sounds like not a bad idea." I mean,
Dude,
it's not even that much.
Did you see he wants to reopen Alcatraz?
What's this about?
I love the way his brain works. He literally just thinks about like random movies or shit. And like, wouldn't it be cool if we reopened Alcatraz? Let's fucking do it.
It's like I was watching this movie the other day with Kurt Russell. Great movie. What was it?
Incredible movie.
Escape from LA, and they were at that jail, Alcatraz. Wouldn't it be amazing to send the criminals of the world there?
So fucking funny.
The worst ones.
It is a crazy fucking jail in itself. If you've never, I didn't go
Go on
to
a
go
tour.
like tour it. Some of my family's been over there to like tour it, but I've been at that like coast from where you would go, depart to go
Fisherman's
see it.
Wharf. Yeah.
And yeah, just seeing the distance and then knowing that people like made that fucking swim to try to escape is insane.
Yeah, but they do a fucking swim there, right? So like
Yeah,
they
yeah,
do
people
have a
do.
competition. They have like a fucking not a
I wouldn't
triathlon, but
swim
they
that
have a
fucking water,
competition.
dude. Not me. I
Well,
hate
the problem is
the
that
ocean.
it's the Golden Gate Bridge right there. It's the access to the bay, so it's fucking open ocean.
Isn't it?
It's
It's not dirty. Is it
no,
not
no,
dirty
no,
water?
no, 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 no. It's salt water. It's ocean water.
There's sharks there, 100%.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like, there's fucking shit in that water. You know.
That
But did
is
you hear
my
the story of the escape. They fucking have Netflix shows on it. The guys, they fucking took life jackets and build a raft or whatever. Like, you were better off fucking just trying to swim across that fucking thing.
just no idea what they're up against. It's like, yep, we're just gonna swim this.
They made like paper mache fucking heads or something and dug with fucking spoons or some shit through the concrete and then supposedly built a raft with life vests, but they were probably better off fucking swimming.
Yeah, what about these oil prices? Tell me about them. What's going on?
Dude, fuck oil. Oil
Little
and
bit- little bit
oil
down, right?
and oil's getting nuked and gold is fucking flying. Gold is back.
Gold's been
Gold
bad.
is up like 2%. It was up like almost 3% today at the top. But usually it should be like long oil, short stocks, and it's like short oil, short stocks, which I find interesting. It's kind of going the wrong fucking way. I mean, a barrel's like $50 or something last time I looked. We can look. 56 right now. We had a 2022 was fucking 130. Dude, what's up with all those fucking Forex traders trading oil, dude? Where have those guys been? Oil, fucking gold, the MetaTrader 4 guys. Where are those fucking guys? It's been a while since I've seen any of their kind.
Maybe they all retired.
Big if true. Well, all those guys, they run courses, and then people spend like fucking $100 a month for their fucking course, and they have 1,000 people signed up. They're making $100,000 a fucking month.
Yeah.
There it was. All right, Jamie's got his material now.
Yeah, oil getting
And
shredded.
start pulling shit up. I broke apart my setup a little bit because I was at my in-laws for the weekend, and it took me a minute to get everything fucking plugged back in and working.
Remember when oil futures went negative? That was fucking great.
That was crazy.
You would have to give them the oil. No, just kidding. But
Where am I at? There we go. All right.
But people always look at that trade like, oh, you could have just bought oil when it was negative. That's not exactly how it works. Like, you're on margin on your brokerage account and it's fucking free fall. It can just go either way. It can just keep going. You can just keep getting liquidated.
Why not just trade eggs?
Or orange juice, dude. Orange juice and coffee.
Why
Orange juice
aren't
was
there
like
more-
all-time high, dude.
I'm surprised that we don't see, just for the memes, like more orange juice traders.
Well, here in Brazil is like fucking commodities traders. Like you get on the plane in the morning and the guy's fucking on the phone screaming about soy or some shit, right? Like they trade all that shit here.
Is there any arbitrage between oranges and orange juice?
Probably.
You're in
Oranges,
the wrong market, Denton.
oranges are a lot cheaper.
All right, let's see what else is going on. We got fucking. I don't know if you saw. I brought it up last week when we were talking. There was like some investigation going on, I guess, into Movement because Movement was saying that they were tricked by a market maker into like signing over. It was some crazy amount. It was like 50 something or 60 something million move. And
Jeez.
yeah, let's see. Yeah, so essentially, like I haven't found. I'm going to give you my TLDR, and then I'll find the article. Move nuked like 20%, and what they were saying was that it was from a market maker offloading some supply, and that happened. That supply became unlocked to them because they felt they were tricked. They didn't know that they had signed over like that amount to be released to them because of the way the deal was structured. So they did this investigation. They find out that the co-founder Rushi is the one that was tied to the market maker in making this deal. So now they suspended him, and he's probably on the outs. Let's see, gotta find. Boom.
I can give some context though. Like how it works is.
Oh yeah, I should probably go ahead, Marty, but I'll fill in anything that we deal with these.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're blaming the guy. I didn't read into it, but usually these projects give makers. I think the fucking market makers get a bad rap, right? Like we just on CT, we just blame Wintermute for everything, but that's not necessarily how it works. Their job is to provide liquidity on both sides of the book within a certain amount of spread and a certain amount of uptime. Well, nobody wants to trade these fucking shit coins. So how do you incentivize the maker? One, you give them a token option. Two, you give them cash. Three, you give them a token loan to market make their token. Sometimes it's a package of all three. The option could either be a call or a put. But essentially, if they got an option and they market make that fucking token and then they were entitled to X amount of tokens, then they just fucking nuke it and their job is done. And, I think maybe, I don't know the whole story, but maybe this guy is, getting a bad rap, or maybe he knew about it and was fucking shorting into it. I don't fucking know, right? But usually there's a deal on the backside, and a lot of people don't know, like, that's how it works. Nobody wants to trade this fucking token, so you have to incentivize the maker to come and do it. Usually the maker puts up some sort of cash value, and then the project gives them a token loan, and the option could be both ways. It could be a call option or a put option. I mean, usually it's a call option with a way lower strike. So I don't know.
Finance involved as usual. What up, Lights?
Yeah. I mean, imagine it was like, I don't know what the price was, but at the spot price was $1 and their fucking option was at 5 cents. They're making 95 cents a fucking coin. They got, $60 million worth of fucking coin. Even if they nuked the chart 20%, they fucking made tens of millions of dollars. So, market makers get a bad rap, but their job isn't to push the price, which I think people get confused about. Their job is to just keep books liquid, money
The job
on each
isn't to
side.
push the price, though. They're oftentimes with some of these shadier structured deals, they're structured in a way to where it is incentivizing the third party to push the price because of the way that the option is potentially structured, or
well, they could just rip liquidity. They could just fucking pull all liquidity on the ask side, and then if there's excitement around the token and there's actual, some buyers, and they pull all liquidity, the fucking thing just rips.
Yep.
So it's funny. You go look at like unlocks, go look at things like that. Things usually pump into unlocks. They hedge on perps at the top, and then get their spot and then sell it off the spot, unwind the perp. It blows my mind the fucking amount of people that don't know how perps work and how you can hedge. If price is going up, and let's say it's $10, you can sell a perp. Let's say you have a bunch of spot or you have an unlock coming. You can sell the same amount of perps at $10 plus or minus funding. Usually you get paid funding unless everybody's fucking doing the same trade as you. Then you're paying, and then when it unlocks, you sell off the spot and the perp, and you're left with that top amount that you locked value at plus or minus funding. It's like blows my mind the amount of people that don't know that. That's why funding goes super crazy into crazy unlocks, because everybody is fucking doing the same thing and shorting into it, locking their value.
And it works every time.
Always was.
So many unlocks are like, they seem so obvious ahead of time, and then it actually plays out the same way you expected. It's just crazy.
Well, people get lost in, the hype around certain events that may be taking place that are planned to take place, around unlocks precisely for that reason.
Yeah.
It's, the same, it's the same like marketing, ploy and scheme that's used in all kinds of media.
Yeah.
You want people to be paying attention to one thing so that they're not paying attention to the other thing.
Yeah. It's also things in crypto seem to take, like, people wait for the last possible moment to price news in a lot of time. That's it's just funny.
You know what's funny? Usually market makers actually have to fucking trade to make money. Isn't that fucking surprising? If you go to other fucking markets, they're not incentivized with crazy cash. Usually they're co-located. Usually they have preferential fees, which allows them to quote, but they don't, they're not getting paid fucking a stipend. They're not getting a token loan. I guess until you go look at IPO offerings, there's some, it's not shady business around IPOs, but you have to have supply at IPO at launch. So either you have to accumulate or you get some sort of allocation from somebody else, but you have to put up money to be in those sort of positions. So it's funny that market makers actually have to fucking make money. There's an interesting interview with Ken Griffin, the Citadel guy. He at Stanford. He did it like last week. He was like, on market making, we make money 52% of the time, but we do millions of trades an hour. I'm like, well, that's fucking crazy. Maybe it was 56. It was 52 or 56, because the other thing that he said was that his best stock pickers are right 52 or 56% of the time. It was both of those, 52 and 56, both of those, market making profits and best actual stock pickers percentage of being right was just in the 50%. But they're doing millions of trades a fucking hour,
which is fucking insane.
Oh, they're the biggest market maker in the US.
I know, just like that many trades at a time is crazy. Have you guys seen Open Eden?
No.
Why does that sound so familiar?
Pull it up, Jamie.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I covered their raise maybe on here.
What's that?
RWA tokenization. Oh yeah, it's USDO. Duh.
On what chain?
Fed chain.
I saw Ripple there.
You know what though? This
Oh,
was
that's
nothing-
the USD
Yeah,
zero.
USDO.
Yeah, USDO.
Nothing compared to this. Boom. 1 billion in profits.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
I was like, speaking of T-bills, I know I saw some article yesterday when I was looking over stuff for the show today, and that was like, God damn,
And they have fucking like 100 employees or something.
120 billion in treasury exposure, 1 billion in profits for
To
Q1.
do nothing. They literally just hold T-bills. They don't do shit. They literally don't do any fucking marketing. They don't do any fucking anything.
They don't have to anymore.
Yeah. They did an event here in Rio we had a conference, so they did it with OKX and Tether. They have some presence down here in the stablecoin business, but dude, all they do is hold fucking T-bills. What is the other one? USDO?
Yep, Open Eden.
Oh, Open. You know what? Crypto still lacks
I'm
is
gonna
like
go back to that so you can see it, Marty.
I'm on it. I pulled it on myself. Yeah. Okay. Hidden Road. Okay. So Ripple bought Hidden Road. Hidden Road is a prime brokerage that allows you to, I don't know, you deposit X amount of money and you can trade on every fucking account. And it's all you could trade on OKX, Binance, Bybit, Deribit, all the sexes, and your money is margined in one account, even though your money is scattered all over. Your positions offset each other in one total book. It's a little weird of a system because it's not your accounts. You're trading on Hidden Roads accounts. They're not your accounts. So you actually don't control the withdrawal. Like you can't log in on the UI on Bybit, like with your own. That's not the right way to say it, but you trade on Hidden Roads accounts and all of your money is margined in one central place. So if you're long on Deribit and short on Binance, it offsets. So it's 1-to-1, even though you have money in two different exchanges. So we need more of those kinds of places, but Hidden Road is the most legit one. And it's the only one that all of these Brazilian banks and Brazilian trading floors can trade on. So fun facts about Hidden Road.
Well, maybe there will be more in the future because it seems like even though prices are nuking, not really, I mean, down what, 2% maybe. What is it, the Senate bill or Senate's moving forward with a new stablecoin bill?
I thought that they just vetoed that.
Did they?
Yeah. There was some shit that they just vetoed. Some shit, not the Arizona thing. There was some other news that they vetoed something, and I'm like, that's what's wrong with fucking America. Is they're like, oh, we introduced this bill. That doesn't mean shit. That's every country, right? But everybody rides with this. Oh, it's happening, and then somebody's like, no, it's not happening.
Are you talking about the Genius Act?
Dude, there's so many fucking names.
This one they announced like 3 days ago.
What is it?
Called the Genius Act, the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins. Senate's version of two similar bills.
Pro-crypto Democrats pull support for stablecoin
I think the ones that got vetoed were the ones that
yesterday.
are rolling through right now. Because there's two that were rolling through. Unless they vetoed his expedition to bills.
They're still voting. But
Like I said,
some people
it's
just
hard to
pulled
keep
support.
up because there's so much psyops too of not from them, not from like the government,
From
but
us, dude.
from what
Twitter.
from what reporters are putting out because of the shit that we talk about on Twitter all day long. Yeah, there was that one, and then I saw that like Solana was engaging with the SEC over tokenization. I'm gonna find that one.
But do you guys really think that we need all of this on a public blockchain? Like, why wouldn't they just
We
create their
need
own?
everything on a public blockchain.
Yeah, but that's not feasible. You're not going to be able to see the treasury's fucking transactions publicly from a fucking explorer. That's never going to happen.
Of course.
Now, so I guess the way you frame that, yes, everything should be, but like, will it be? No, because like I agree with you. The Fed will never have their money on a chain that we can all see, like what they're doing. Like they're not going to be fucking Tether where we can see when they turn the printer on and when they turn it off, because they're literally just turning it on. There's nothing backing it. Like,
there should be like a public chain. Like, okay, let's say, just to make it simple, like retirement, like all of that. Maybe it's not a public chain, but it should be on a chain, and they should like push all retirements through instantly. People's benefits should be instant. All of that sort of shit should all be on some sort of chain. But
the way I feel is like any data that's stored in a database right now should be on chain, because
on a chain, whatever kind of chain. But
I'm not saying it needs to be on, like, find a way to store it on Bitcoin or find a way to store it on ETH. I'm just saying they should be using distributed ledgers because the technology exists. There's no reason to just be storing everything, like storing a bunch of important information in Excel anymore, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense to do that.
I'm with you there.
Or in their own database that they can like edit.
It's a fucking warehouse full of paperwork, Denton. It's not even a fucking database. They don't.
That's my point. Like let's look at the retirement thing, right? Like, it's funny, like it's a big meme. Like, they had to go into a fucking, they had to go into some mine shaft, right? And like go underground into some fucking like underground storage facility to process and like store these retirement paperwork for people that are retiring in the US. So it's like they can only do so many a day. They can only do so many. They're limited by how much they can actually like transfer, store, and get because of like where it's stored and how much they can get in and get out, with the means of transportation they have. And it makes zero sense to be storing tons of data just like in a fucking mine shaft underground when distributed databases exist, right? Like,
yeah, that's totally insane to me. Like, even that should be on like Excel, okay? That should level up a little bit, okay? It shouldn't be all fucking paper processed by Joe.
Yeah, they should have backed it up by now to fucking Excel, and then from there, figure it out. We have the tech now. Put that shit on chain, right? On a chain, however you want to word it, Marty, right? Like, but
yeah,
and like this, the other thing is like with NFTs, like people were caught up in it like just being art, but in reality, like that like verifier or identifier is really what it is. It's just like an identifying code, a hash string that's saying like, this is part of this collection. That's every like retail item that exists. That's every food item that exists.
Sure.
There's zero reason why everything isn't able to be tracked back to the manufacturer and verified that it came from someplace on a certain day from a certain batch. All of that stuff is solved with NFTs and being on chain. Like, it's just,
but what's so funny about America? Go ahead.
VeChain was supposed to do that for like luxury goods, and
yeah, I remember.
VeChain is still around. They still sponsor the UFC, dude. Like,
what's funny is like, that was Jesse's point with like his really cringe fucking NFT thing he did. But it's like just putting NFTs on chain and giving no preface to like what it represents or what you're trying to do beforehand, you're going to have people just ape and like, obviously get slaughtered. But to like preface it and say like everything should be on chain, this is my belief, even down to cartons of milk, because blah 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 blah. So we're starting this by putting all of our content on chain, and because like the whole point was that not everything is tradable in the same sense that like, or in the same liquid market that the tokens that you're used to trading in crypto are. Like just because it is on chain and just because it is a token does not mean that the liquidity exists to trade it in the same fashion. It could, like someone could create that, but like it doesn't mean that it does. You know what I mean? Like there has to be the demand to create that market.
Yeah.
And that is very much like what I'm talking about here. Like there is demand for it, but like it's not in the same type of liquid market that exists for trading Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and fucking Ripple.
Like house deeds should be on some sort of, even if it's fucking Fed chain, courthouse chain. Like you shouldn't have to go to the fucking courthouse, get some weird fucking lady to fucking go find you some piece of paper from the original deed, like who actually owns it. Like that is totally solvable with the internet now and with the technology that we have available today.
Concert tickets, video game items, everything like that. Like amusement park tickets.
Well, I mean, what they do is America in general has a weird way of looking at the world, and they would rather have a lot of third-party fintech apps instead of just one centralized thing. So, like example, you have Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, all of Plaid, all of this shit, and then some of them are integrated into the banking system, like Plaid and Zelle. But Zelle is fucking terrible. You could send like $3,000 a day or some shit. Like that's fucking, and it works half of the fucking time. Where it's like, why wouldn't I just send an ACH transfer, or why wouldn't I just send a wire transfer? Like, and then people are like, oh, I have Venmo, but I don't have Cash App. We're just like doing the same thing we're doing in crypto in the States. Like we're just fragmenting fucking money around, which is fucking stupid. Where if, couldn't have a fucking show without praising picks, but if, Fed chain just come out and said, oh, we have, Fed swap or, Fed send money, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And it's like, if you have a bank account, you can send money. And instead of them just going out and creating instead of them going out and creating it, they fucking had to partner with some third party, and it never fucking works. So it's like absolutely dumb. And so I think that they're doing this with crypto now. And I hope that it's not like, we don't need 10 fucking stable coins. We don't need 100 chains. We need like a handful of ones that work. And maybe each country has a chain, or each county has a chain, something like this. But I think it's fucking stupid if we're just fragmenting money more and more and more throughout. Woo! Are we in free fall yet? ETH is still 1,800. Tempting, tickling the monthly open.
Tickling. BTC is
Bitcoin's
90.
at yearly open.
What do you think about the monthly on ETH?
Dude.
Bruh. Let me pull that shit up.
Keep those comments to yourself. Shut your mouth. No, the yearly open on ETH was 33.30.
Oh boy.
And the yearly open on Bitcoin is 93 or something. Like we're above the yearly open on Bitcoin. It's looking better. But ETH, Sol looks like shit. Doge looks like shit. All of it has fully fucking retraced.
I would pay you $50K just to bring me back to the yearly open, so I
Pay
can celebrate.
$50K.
Look at the monthly on like NASDAQ, dude. What the fuck was that? Holy shit. Have you seen that?
No, I'm pulling this shit up right now.
Pull it up.
Just pull up NQ1 exclamation mark. That's the futures. And then the monthly. Dude, what is that? I didn't even see that, dude. It looks like a shitcoin.
Oh man.
Like, dude, what is that, dude? What is that?
What the fuck?
That's a fucking $4,000 wick.
It's like looks like an fork that had the rebase.
Dude, that's not good. Yeah, but every time, honestly, that might be one of the biggest wicks like ever. But we've always retested those wicks. That might be the biggest monthly wick ever in terms of dollar value, dollar amount.
Oh boy.
Yeah, not great. It's like a $3,000 wick. That's not great at all.
So sell in man, walk away.
Probably something close to that.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Well, you have the summer coming up, right? So you have to realize that too, right? Like liquidity gets a little loose, little less in the summer.
Yep.
ETH is the barometer of alts, and they're all down bad. Yes, you are correct.
Everyone's going to the Hamptons, you know.
Well,
Soul
that's the
scam
joke, right?
coins are the only things pumping for some reason. It's because you got until Gigi touches it, you know. I
Dude,
saw
that
some
is
tweet
the
someone said, "Call
nastiest
Gigi a
wick I've ever
carpenter the way
seen.
she's putting in ceilings."
Jesus Christ. I mean, stocks or like at least the indices and futures have rebounded.
There we
Like-
go. I wasn't showing it. Here you go. Here's your shitcoin.
Yeah, but then go to the monthly. Well, that's no on the top.
Sorry.
The very top. Yeah.
Used
1
to
month. Dude, what is that, dude? What is that? Now zoom in on that wick, dude. What is that fucking wick?
Jesus.
Dude. But see,
Dude.
we've always like retested these sort of wicks. So like, I'm not a TA expert, but if we start getting back into like 18,000, 17,000 again, I'll be a fucking buyer, especially of tech. Like I don't know about like any other healthcare or fucking mining or any other industry. But
How about military
Marty is in it for the tech.
weapons?
Weapons, American-made weapons for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, okay, but this lighter thing, I don't know, dude. Fucking somebody told me some shit about lighter. And maybe it's these fucking exchanges all talking shit to each other. But we talked to all of these exchanges in some fashion about market making for them. And some of them are really good tech and some of them are just fucking clones. And there was I don't want to fucking start anything, but here we go. I'm getting fucking clipped. So somebody from another exchange was talking shit about Lighter, saying that there was a lot of users coming over from them because they were getting booted for, beating out their in-house market maker for being faster or better or actually making money. So, we've had some run-ins with some other exchanges where they front run our orders and their cancel gets pushed to the top of the order book. So, not everybody is a fucking saint in this industry. We've lost some money dealing with some fucks that fuck with us, right? I'm not going to point names there, but they were front running our orders. They were pushing their cancel all before our order. They were pushing their cancel all to the front of the book, even though we were trying to arb them. So there's a lot of shady shit in fucking crypto still and DeFi.
You'd never do that to you here.
Yeah. Here you just get to trade against me in a minute. You can arb Marty.
I would never.
What is that?
I want to know when.
What is that you have on up on the screen? It looks pretty new, pretty
Leaking
clean.
alpha. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Oh wow, what's that?
Oh wow, is this a new exchange? It kind of looks like one.
He said it'd be interesting to talk about new trading venues, so I just pulled up the newest of them.
Oh, is that a what was that? What's the tab on the right? Like, is that like a drawer, like modular?
Ooh,
I don't know.
open on the right. Ooh,
Oh,
what's
this
that
one?
button? Open.
Are you
Oh,
talking
holy
about
shit.
my little
Oh my
position?
Whoa.
right here?
My bot is
Whoa.
ready.
Would you
That
like to-
crystal.
Yeah, the thing about bringing stocks to crypto is if you don't have so I've covered this before. So when stocks is in your brokerage account, there's an insurance that if the brokerage goes down, it's not like FDIC. I think it's SDIC. SDIC. I forget the name of it. It's not SDIC. That's a fucking Singaporean deposit corporation. FDIC is for cash and yeah, that's not the right. Fuck, I'm fucking talking out of my ass. But there is an insurance. I'll find the name of it. FDIC is for cash in your bank. It's like 200 grand. Cash sitting in a checking or savings account. And then this is specifically for brokerages. So if the brokerage goes down, you can just move your shares to another brokerage. The shares are in your name as long as it's a legit brokerage. So the problem is with bringing stocks on crypto and bringing it on chain is the stocks are in their name. So if they go under, you don't have access to your shares. It's not transferable and it's not insured. So that's why I think it's fucking dumb. Sure, it's a step in the right direction, but you're better off and you're way more safe sitting in a fucking brokerage account, because if the brokerage goes under, you just move shares from place A to place A to B with no friction or anything. You have nothing to worry about. Like if Schwab went down, you could move it to Merrill Lynch. If Merrill Lynch went down, you can move just wherever else. So that's my only concern of stocks on the chain. Now it's going to piss me off. Brokerage. It starts with an S.
There's another one besides Ostium that I saw doing stocks on chain. Trying to think of who it was now. I talked about him like maybe 2 weeks ago. Trying to find it. We talked about this before, though. The issue is like settlement.
Oh, Henlo was supposed to launch like the new token today or something.
Dude, I've been so checked out of like anything going on that isn't fucking Cayenne related that I'm don't even know. I had a friend send that to me, like an in real life friend, send me a text message about it. And he was like, "Henlo back." I'm like, "Oh man."
I'm so tired.
I just don't want to miss, like, if you need to click a button to fucking get the token.
No, I'll make sure that you don't.
Thank you. I bought some, there's like Ponzi's fucking where you like mine coins with like pixel art graphics cards. Like, a couple of those. Yeah.
Mine. So go talk about this. What do you mind?
I can link you the website. Hold on. I don't know if you want to shill it because it's like 2 million market cap.
I'm not going to shill it. Just explain it without sharing the fucking.
It's like you start it at like in like a basement. You buy mining equipment, like literally Bitcoin, like
I saw people talking about this. I saw a bunch of people talking about this. Isn't it like really fucking expensive now? Like people have been like building out their little ASIC.
I think the most expensive one is like $8,000 or something, and the cheapest one is like $50 or something. So there's a fork of it that on Base that I think it looks like the people buying the fork don't even know about that it's a fork because they're talking about it like it's a new thing. So I got into that and it's up. But this kind of thing is gonna like dump really hard once it's like enough people that mine for a while.
I miss good mining projects. Like the last one I was doing were on Arbitrum. There were a bunch of AI things popping off.
Yeah.
That was the last thing that like gave me the simulated feeling of pointing some GPUs at something. And
This isn't actual mining. It's just like a farming Ponzi.
yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. Like I just miss like real
Yeah.
mining.
Yeah.
Because with me like moving semi recently, just I don't know, maybe like 2 weeks ago, I went over and I like completely decommissioned my Grant. He'll share it with you offline. I don't want to shill a potential Ponzi on air,
Message me.
but if you feel like playing on-chain money games, he'll share it with you. But I was taking apart all of my old rigs and like breaking them down because I obviously had to move them out of the place. But I was gonna put all of the parts that are applicable to people and their PCs to put them on like buy sell trade or fucking some marketplace. And when I was doing that, it just made me miss like the kind of it's a different type of dopamine, like wasting a ton of energy, paying an energy bill and like that being your contribution, that and just like risk, because you're risking time spent mining something that's worthless that nobody knows about in the hopes that people find out about it. Like,
yeah, I miss it. I miss
like what it is
with,
and that it gets listed somewhere. Right.
Yeah.
And, back then you could mine all of the majors. So like you just set up your GPUs at home and you could mine Zcash, mine ETH Classic, mine Monero, mine whatever the fuck you wanted,
yeah, I miss tinkering with like all the computers.
Yeah. And now the last time that I really got to do that was, like I said, there were when the AI craze was really kind of picking up with all the chatbots and stuff, there were actual AI projects that were being built also. And a lot of them were leveraging Arbitrum. So we were renting tons of GPUs and clusters from different third parties and pointing them to, you have to still write your little scripts and configure everything. And it was like the first time in a long time where, it felt fun again to kind of do that kind of shit. But quickly, people catch on and then it like becomes oversaturated and you just go and find the next one. I still, funny enough, I had to like go and claim not that long ago a bunch of BTC that was a bunch of Doge that got converted to BTC because I had like mining contracts that still existed that were like waterfall defaulting to like the only mineable coins available left on the contracts. And there was like a few $100s, of BTC still. So it was pretty funny. From like $50 cloud mining contracts from fucking 6-7 years ago. Those were the days.
Yeah.
Now we're
it's funny. It's funny how people keep talking about how like people that hate proof of stake, they talk about how fair distribution is in proof of work, but like knowing how it actually is when you're like the first person to start mining it on the first day. It's like when the hash difficulty is the easiest. It's like that's not fair distribution.
I'm still there's not a fair, there'll never be a fair distribution because there's always like someone or some group that knows first. But why I think it is a fair design for allocation of power
is more fair,
is that every individual machine actually has a not only a chance of like winning, but if everything fell offline, like one machine in one region after difficulty readjusts could keep the chain up together, right? Like so the ability for that to be anywhere in the world Whereas like in proof of stake, there's this financial like burden and like baseline where it's like, okay, you kind of already had to have been here and you have to kind of be moderately wealthy to participate. And with like GPUs, you just don't. Like that's not the case at all. So yeah, 50K to mine one BTC. Is that it now? Like, no, ASICs are still pretty cheap. And it's like, it's 1 in a million, you know, chance. Sure, it's a lottery ticket, but you could still buy. I think ASICs are a few $1,000s. Like, they're not even anything too crazy. I haven't looked online. I haven't looked in a long time though. Who's even like making the top ones now? Let me see. Bitcoin. ASICs.
You gotta join a pool.
Is Bitmain still the top, or Bitmain probably is? I got it. But what do I know? I have a friend that has a warehouse in Washington, I think, and they do Bitcoin and then like altcoin like mining, and they host for people. So if you like have machines that you need hosted somewhere, you can like literally send them your machines and they will host them at their warehouse for you.
I only mine with GPUs, so I've never even used ASICs.
They do GPUs and ASICs there at the warehouse.
Nice. We got another call, so we gotta end this.
Oh shit!
2 minutes.
Yeah.
In what? 2 minutes?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me just bask in.
Grant, you can DM me.
These did not exist. Look, back in the day, these did not exist. The most expensive Antminer, I think, was like 15K. Like, you could not, as a retail person, come on here and fucking buy $180,000 ant space. Like, what the fuck? It's fucking hilarious. Oh, these are hydro cooled, so I mean, I guess fucking it makes a little sense, but they have so many models now. This just was not. This didn't exist back then. Yeah, this was like the standard, I would say. 15K puts you 30.7 per terahash. These are fucking hydro cooled now. It's so fucking sick. Like, back in my day, you didn't get no hydro cooled tanks. You just had to let that baby purr and heat up the whole house. These fuckers.
Yeah. Hey,
this is hydro too. Shit. They even offer the old ones anymore? Yeah, here we go. These bad boys. These fuckers with these big ass fucking fans on them. Back in my day, $720. Man, they're trying to get rid of these fucking things. S19K Pro. Yeah, I'm so out of the mining fucking world. That was like my whole world for a handful of years when I first entered into the crypto space. S21s, yeah. Yeah, we'll have to set up maybe set up an app. I know some people that do some like some lending schemes. They like buy miners. It's like a tax like write-off thing. Yeah, I guess now that's probably a problem for them this year. But they would like buy miners, then take out loans against them, like then sell the miners at a loss to write it off. And I don't know, some weird scheme like that. So they could pay less tax. But we got another meeting. We will see you guys back later today. We have another live stream we're going to do on the Premia account going over, what's this one on? Because I know we have today's portfolio margin, right? Going to go over portfolio margin and the risk engine. I think that's right. So I'll see you guys back at 2 p.m.
Yes.